Big up everyone. Hold on. I almost sneezed. Hold on. Just allergies. Rough start already. Big up everyone. I just hope everyone is doing well. Sorry about that. Just right away. I hope everyone is doing good. But you know what? It's time for me to. Unfortunately, this is serious, and unfortunately, two things. And unfortunately, it's time and the freaking minerals because you know what? I'm not happy. But before that, I have to bring this up. Unfortunately, as you guys could see, Diego Jota is no longer part of the game. I am really, unfortunately, everyone is grieving, and this is really upsetting. But Diego Jota has passed away, and he will forever be remembered as a Liverpool legend, even though his career and his life was cut so short at the age of 28, not even reaching the 30s. And he's no longer part of the game. And I just want to say, rest in peace, Descansa en paz. It's really sad. I'm really heartbroken about this news. Uh, even how underrated this Premier League striker is for Liverpool, especially, and this does hurt the club, the fans, especially mourning for the people of not just Liverpool, but including the incident that happened in Spain about his death. Not just him, including his brother Andre Santos, including his boyhood club Porto. This has broken many hearts across the world, but at most the clubs and the place that was directed to him. And all condolences to his family, both and especially his wife and children. It's really sad to see. It's all and this is just not sustainable. Oh man, because the Premier League looked it was about to be a little bit about to get more interesting. Jota on that attack as Liverpool, trying for a new as they were trying to do business and transfer market, but now this it's really heartbroken and thanks to what happened yesterday, I just couldn't make the video, and this is why I couldn't make like I said the video. So rest in peace, Diego Jota. I'm really sad. And second of all, here's another thing before I start this rant video. Unfortunately, I cannot turn on my camera because due to the internet connection, for some reason it does this. It it does this. I have to do this again. For fuck's sakes. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. But yeah, guys, I'm just mad. I'm just annoyed. For frick's sakes, every single month. I mean, every single week has been stressful. Feels like even as a neutral, football I think has been like this. It's a freaking joke. And then they're going to be saying, "Look at." Uh, it's a joke. But now, but now, all right. What I want to talk about. Let me try to pull this up. Oh my goodness. I just had enough. Let me check this out. Yeah, condolences, Diego Jota. I know this is a big thing in football, especially in Europe. Looks like I don't have anything else, but looks like. Oh my goodness. So, all right. So, enough with the off-topic things. I want to get into rants. I want to talk about the Concacaf Gold Cup. Basically, Concacaf's own version of the Continental Tournament, which they have every single 2 years. The Concacaf Gold Cup, which is their version of the Copa America and the Euros, in my opinion. And it looks like we're gonna have another. You guessed it, another USA Mexico final, another Clasico between Mexico and the USA. And you know what? At this point, this game is played in Houston, 6 p.m. local time on Sunday, and I'm not happy about it. All right, you know what? All right, let me start to go on. First of all, honestly, the Concacaf Gold Cup at this point, it's not a serious. It's just, it's just not. It's not a good tournament. It's not. Concacaf Gold Cup is probably it's probably one of the worst tournaments internationally at this point. And you know what? Oh my goodness, bro. Concacaf, if you don't know, yes, US Mexico is a huge game. It's a huge rivalry in CONCACAF. But at this point, it's just getting old. And here's the thing, it's been happening every single year. Whether it's the Gold Cup Nations League final or the semifinal they meet or World Cup qualifiers and all that. It has to happen every single freaking year. The USA Mexico rivalry, they have to do this every single year and they have to shove it up in our throats. And here's the thing. To be fair, no offense, but CONCACAF, the Gold Cup is shit. And I have no regrets saying this. As a Brazil fan, the Gold Cup is shit, and I don't even want it to even play in this tournament because, no offense to any CONCACAF nation, I get it. You guys don't have the quality, and yes, it needs to be addressed. But CONCACAF, they just keep on putting on these games over and over and over again. It does not help and represent the region. It is. It always has to be this. They always have to rely on USA Mexico finals in the United States for the freaking US dollar note every single freaking year. And it just proves that it's just fucking bullshit fixed at this point. This is why no one should be taking this tournament seriously. Because this tournament is just nothing but it's just inequality. And I don't blame the Central Americans and Caribbean nations. It's not their fault. I get that the foundation the quality, but it's just every single year it has to be that. For frick's sakes, it always has to be. It has to be Mexico, USA, and like it's just I just had it. It's just ridiculous. This is why this tournament is filled with inequality. Inequality. It's just ridiculous at this point. And here's the thing. Oh my goodness, this game just sucks. Like honestly, this USA Mexico rivalry at this point, no offense, it's just not. It's not serious, and plus, it doesn't. It just makes Concacaf look weak at this point because yes, you guys might be the best of this region. Because to be fair to Concacaf, due to the structure, the United States, Mexico don't have level competitions. They have to go against Caribbean nations and Central American nations. And this is why they're not able to talk down to South American nations because South America At least you have the Copa America, an actual tournament, an actual American tournament that I even want as an American to grow. And yes, last year the Copa America, I would say Concacaf teams they did okay, I would say, but except the big ones, USA and Mexico. No offense to their fan base, especially Mexico. That was supposed to be my Concacaf team, but and same with the US. This is why I kind of went for Brazil instead because I actually just wanted competitive games, and I know we haven't won anything. But it's just Concacaf. They as long as they have as long as they continue with this, as long as they have the money and rely on such of these BS tournaments, it's a joke. It's a freaking joke. It's a joke. And then you know what? They're doing this for money because they have no other option. It's all about money. But here's the thing: they never want to invite serious competitions. They promised that they would even invite countries like freaking. They promised that they were going to invite South American nations, which they did in the past. They did invite Brazil once, and I know Brazil didn't took it that seriously in one game. But and yes, it's already. It's just ridiculous. This tournament. This tournament is just nothing but weakness teams, and I'm not trying to go against Concacaf teams, but it's just the inequality is there. And then all those USA and Mexico fans, no offense, you can go against each other. But here's the thing: it doesn't change the fact, even if you win this tournament, even if it's a major trophy, it just doesn't mean nothing. I'm not saying it's like a glorified friendly, but this tournament is just absolutely weak with inequality. But when USA or Mexico plays a tougher opposition, like we saw in the Copa America, which they had a fair result to even get out of the freaking group, they got eliminated. They absolutely got eliminated. Look, in the USA, they got grouped by the worst South American team, Bolivia, the worst Commonwealth nation. Bolivia, Panama, and Uruguay. They got grouped at home. They didn't make it to the quarterfinals. Same thing with Mexico, the USA's second home. They got grouped. And all they needs to beat Ecuador just 1-0, and they couldn't. When they played South American teams, they don't score. When they play South American opposition, they do go toe to toe for a bit, but they don't take those opportunities. And I thought I would expect Concacaf and Como to be not that far. Yes, of course, yeah, they wouldn't be close to be competing for against an Argentina, Brazil, and even Colombia last year. Look at them, even though Colombia has lost form this year. But it just proves that this tournament doesn't have it. But just proves that how weak Concacaf is. Yeah, fair play to Guatemala. I mean, not Guatemala. Fair play to Panama and Canada last year for showing effort. At least Panama making out of the group. Yes, against the USA. That's what they probably always do on the USA. But that's just even though they got ran over by Colombia. In my opinion, the Copa America is not even that hard if you think about it. If you did it in the freaking right way, the freaking right mentality, I think possibly you guys could have also gone to semifinals. Look, you could tie an opposition in 90 minutes and go on penalties and win it. And win on pens. On pens. And that was easy. Look at Canada. They finished second. Yes, against Argentina. They did have to go against hardcore Argentina twice in the group stage on their opener, and in the semifinals. They had to, but here's the thing. At least Copa America, there's actually competitivism and it's fun, and this is what these CONCACAF giants have to accept, rather than mediocre trophies like the Gold Cup, because the Gold Cup is never going to be competitive. It'll never be um it will never be as like I said competitive. But it's just and and look, they and I know they did have to play two of South America's another bad sides, Peru and Chile, who are unfortunately eliminating World Cup qualifiers based on form. They are probably, you could say, CONCACAF level. You could say, I mean, there were debates to even say why not the two best CONCACAF teams go two CONCACAF teams play for the worst for the worst to place for Copa America, while the rest could get relegated to Gold Cup. There were some ideas, but it's just we all know CONCACAF. They just want their money, U.S. dollar bills, and as long as people accept this, as long as fans accept this, the region will never grow, and it just will put the region bad. Because you know what? At this point, if the United States and Mexico, it doesn't matter who wins the freaking Gold Cup, Copa America, it will always be competitive, but it's just not sustainable. Yeah, they'll be saying because it's all because of Concacaf due to relying on this tournament. But the Gold Cup is just kind of weak. It doesn't have competitiveness. It just doesn't have competitivism. And it's just not a serious tournament because it's just filled with I mean, I know it's good to take the young guys with that level of opportunities, but it's just not a serious level. And even the Commonwealth nations, they don't matter if it's, even at the highest, they'll take everything. I mean, it doesn't matter, but it's just true. This is why as long as this region will continue accepting this mediocrity and all that, especially PR money and all that, then the region will never succeed. I want the region to succeed, but it's just never gonna happen with this, especially with this federation accepting this. It's a joke. It's a disgrace. And now, my goodness, now it's just gonna be really difficult. I just had a stressful week. Like I said, Diego Jota preparing for the Club World Cup quarterfinal, especially doing this at the Club World Cup is a disgrace. And even lying to me about, we're gonna build on teams, we're gonna invite teams. Nah, they just freaking lied for absolutely nothing. I just had enough. This is why CONCACAF is shit, and at this point, no one should, like no one cares honestly at this point, almost outside of the USA Mexico fan base. It's just and let's not forget the same old winners have to be from freaking CONCACAF. Has to be either USA or Mexico. It has to be the same old Concacaf Gold Cup winners. I just had enough. It just proves a bad look. No matter who wins it, yeah, just win the trophy. It just it just means that it doesn't mean that you guys will get embarrassed again in the freaking in the freaking in the freaking World Cup. I'm convinced they will get embarrassed in the World Cup. No offense, but it's just even here in Brazil, we don't. Even in Brazil, like, I would like us to probably win the tournament if we get invited. I only want to win it once. That's about it. Just say one cheese trophy. But guess what? They never even invite us ever again. This is why I don't take the Gold Cup seriously. And at this point, then you know what? Freak the Gold Cup, honestly. It's just viewed as just to put the USA and Mexico, as you know, bigger nations at thought. Because they don't have no other option. The CONCACAF Nations League, well, the USA won 3 in a row. And this time Mexico won it. But it's just. Oh my god. It just has to be so annoying. Look at how many times since 1991. Since 1991, the winner has been always been USA or Mexico. Since freaking 1991. It always has to go back and forth over and over again and switches patterns, or it just goes or they switch up or rotate. It always has to be USA, Mexico. This tournament is not serious. Even though this tournament was supposed to be since 1963. And it probably was more competitive back then. And even though I wasn't even born, but since 19 freaking one, only Canada has won it in 2000. The rest, USA, Mexico, USA, Mexico, and again. This is why this tournament should never be taken seriously. And especially their attendance have dropped anyways because of the ice rates probably, or the words. It's fucking bullshit. This Gold Cup is bullshit. Even the Concacaf Champions Cup, fair enough. There's actually tried to compete for the region. Even though, to be fair, Mexican clubs, I think they're good enough to compete in the Copa Libertadores. We saw that in freaking Club World Cup. And fair enough to some players in the United States, even the full U.S. men's national team squad wasn't even called up because they don't want to play in this tournament. And fair play to Christian Pulisic. I don't blame him. Yes, I know AC Milan did miss out on European football and they're not going to play European football for the rest of the season. But it's just true. He needs rest. He came from a long season. And I don't know. And like people would debate for the Club World Cup, even though the Club World Cup, yeah, we all know. And yes, fair enough. And by the way, it's just caused confusion because the Club World Cup and Gold Cup has to be at the same time. You're only lucky Mexico. In Mexico, they only have a few players that didn't went to the Gold Cup, and it was hard to make a decision for them because you want to do this at the same time, but you'll never want to do the Euros and the freaking Club World Cup at the same time because that's stupid, right? Whatever fits FIFA, these rules just don't fucking make sense. This is why the Concacaf Gold Cup, even though I sadly don't have my camera up. For frick's sakes, I need to fix this again. Like, why? But I just want to give a flip off middle finger at this point because it just proves freaking why. And these Faradations keep getting away with it. As long as you guys keep accepting this, more this acceptance has to be the same old winner. Whether it's the USA, Mexico, it's just not competitive. And even Canada and Panama on Fraud Watch this week, this tournament. It's a joke, bro. Oh my goodness, bro. This is why I just cannot chill out. Ugh. Every single week they have to do this. It's an absolute joke. I just had enough of Concacaf. This tournament is just nothing but weakness. And it's all about PR money. This tournament is shit. And then if either Pochettino wins it or Vasco, it just doesn't. It's not an achievement at this point. Your standards are just freaking low. Because yes, you might be good enough to compete in your region, but it's just the region just isn't competitive enough like Combo. This is why Concacaf Combo should compete. And by the way, there's this another fucking rigged shitty tournament leagues cup that shouldn't be even there in the first place. Since 2019, 2021's the first one. First two started off good, but it's just but since 2023 it's just gotten worse. And then they promised that they would invite at least Colombia, Uruguay, and they fucking lied. And the PR money, as long as people accept this, it's a fucking joke. And as long as they keep hosting this in the United States, and as long as the fans gives them the fucking note they want, then you're losing the fans, and you're accepting this, and you're accepting mediocrity, and you're expecting low standards. Yep, just like Manchester United fans and Chelsea with freaking Clear Lake and all that, as an example, and their bad ownership. Same thing with United, like I said, it's a fucking joke, bro. And it's time to just not take it seriously. And by the way, Saudi Arabia, Qatar invited? Why the fuck they even want to be here? But just for the pound note, all because that's just a laughing stock. It's embarrassing. No offense to Saudi Arabia. No offense to Zier, my guy. Big up to you. I'm just calling out the narratives. And you don't even agree with this tournament. This tournament is shit. Exactly, it is. This tournament is a joke. And watch, they will get embarrassed. Because it is shit. This is why I'm not going to root for Mexico or the USA at this point. I made up my final decision. Of course, I'm going to go with the King of the Giants. I feel Brazil, even if it wasn't for Brazil, that doesn't mean I'm going to Argentina. Of course, I would choose Colombia over them. Because Colombia, they don't have to deal with this because they're chilling out in Como. And I know. And this is why there's a lot of work progress to do, but they'll never do it. This is why this continent will never be united in the right way. If I was, you know what, as a Mexican, of course, I would rather celebrate a Mexican club win the Copa Libertadores or even a Sudamericana than the Gold Cup at this one. Because this is just shit. Concacaf Champions Cup, questionable as well. But I don't hate them as much as the Gold Cup. It's just not growing in the freaking right way. And I'm just upset with it. This Gold Cup is a joke. Big ups to everyone. Make sure you like and subscribe. Turn on the notifications. I'll fix up everything. We'll be back for a watch along for the Club World Cup. But big up. I'm Go.